E3 2018, what an incredible conference it was this year. I have FOMO about not going this year. A lot of local South African people went up to go to the conference and I'm super happy for them. They had a really good time and I was following everything that they were doing. Critical Hit were there. Everybody was doing such cool stuff. It was just so many really exciting announcements and really exciting trailers and just reminding me why I'm so excited for gaming this year in particular. There's been a lot. And I'm gonna go through some of my favorite E3 events, highlights, trailers, things that really move me, things that I'm super excited for. If you guys have anything else that I've neglected to mention, please let me know in the comments down below. But this is something I want to share with you. This is the gaming table. Let's sit around it. Let's talk about video games. The first one is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This game looks like what I've always wanted Assassin's Creed to look like. There's a lot of history and a lot of accurate history in it, but they're going a lot deeper. Not necessarily in terms of the story, but the story seems to be playing a big role of it. There's a lot more RPG elements to it. It's a time of existence, which is very interesting to me. I did Latin in high school. I'm just gonna show my age. Greece. From the beginning of the story, you can choose either to play as a woman or a man, which is really cool. To play out the story, which has real consequences. They say that like some of the dialogue trees have real consequences. I know a lot of us were really disappointed with Mass Effect Andromeda. Maybe this is gonna be the thing that fills the gap, I'm hoping. Plus man, freaking Greece. Beyond Good and Evil 2 looks astounding.
Gods protect us.
I know we've seen a trailer of it before at a previous E3, and I know that they're all cinematic trailers, but bear with me. Some of the things that they're talking about are reasons to be excited. It's gonna be an open world, third-person game, open world in space. I know I spoke about Mass Effect earlier. This is something that could also fill that space potentially in my life. And some of the worlds we can contribute to. I don't know if you guys know about Hit Record. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has like a company that's all like crowdsourcing a video for like YouTube channels and films and that kind of stuff. They've kind of spun around and done something very cool for this game where you can submit art and the street can be littered with your art. I think that's a very cool idea. It's a way of formalizing fan service. If you love Beyond Good and Evil, this is a very good opportunity to get it to be a part and immortalized in the art form. I think it'd be more controversial if it was a game that nobody knew anything about, but because people are very excited about Beyond Good and Evil 2, you can be immortalized in the game, and I think that's really cool. Last of Us Part 2 made an incredible appearance. The conference was really sick. They had like this, what I call a Mumford & Sons church-like environment where somebody played the theme of The Last of Us, was the composer of The Last of Us theme tune, and then they jumped into what looks to be some of the most insane Naughty Dog-esque gameplay I have ever seen. It felt like everything was seamless. Everything that Ellie was doing in the game just seemed to work. She was ducking under cars, escaping people. Those people would like look under the cars and search for her and then be able to pull it up, which just blew my mind. You know, beforehand, if you're playing a Call of Duty game and you're underneath the car searching, you know, no one can really see you. You're invisible. But now this is Naughty Dog doing what they do best, making very good storytelling and using the environment to bring that story to you. Spider-Man, of course, which is coming out later this year, just looks mind-blowing. If you like Batman, okay, you're probably gonna be hearing a lot of this, but it's got that Batman-like gameplay. If you enjoyed the Batman Arkham series, it's got that kind of gameplay in it, but obviously the world is not as dark, it's super bright. The swinging, everybody that's played the game says the swinging is incredible, and I don't know if you ever got to play Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 swinging was the best swinging in a Spider-Man game ever, and that's kind of like one of the biggest like draw cards to it. Prototype didn't live up to that. You guys remember Prototype? Doing its thing, and I think that Spider-Man is just kind of the game that's gonna be filling that space for me. I always say filling that space because I'm hungry for a whole bunch of games that are doing some cool stuff. I grew up watching the cartoon series. There are a lot of the characters from the cartoon series that are back in the game, and I'm really amped to get into a really meaty, long. Also, Miles Morales is in it, and obviously the animated Spider-Man movie coming out at the end of the year is Miles Morales based. So I'm really excited to get to know that character a little bit more. Just get more into the Spider-Man universe. This is the renaissance of Marvel, guys. Really rad to be a part of it. How cool cool is it, by the way, that our childhood stuff, like Avengers, Captain America, Thor, Spider-Man, all of that stuff is like mainstream box office films. That was my dream when I watched that first X-Men movie that went straight to VHS. I'm showing my age now, but when I saw that, I was like, yo, it's Gen X, I think that was what the film was called. And I was like, man, one day it would be so sick if these were all in the film on like the cinema, but like now they are, and they're the best movies that are being made right now. Super excited.
God turned his back on humanity long ago. It wasn't a war. It wasn't global warming.
Rage 2 looks surprisingly good. I didn't enjoy the first Rage as much as some of my friends did. I just found it a little bit slow, a little bit boring. The scenery was a little bit dull. And I think they've actually taken every single one of those criticisms that I had in my heart to light. To the degree that they've even included big, puffy, like paint clouds to color up the environment and just make it a little bit like crazy. But they've been doing some really cool stuff with Doom and Wolfenstein, resurrecting those series. So I think that Rage 2 kind of deserves our attention and hours of gameplay. Let me know if you guys want to see me do like a series of that on my channel. I think there's some really crazy things in it.
This isn't a war, Rico. This is survival.
Just Cause 5. That was an announcement I was not expecting, to be honest. I know Just Cause would be coming out at some time, at some point in history, but I feel that they're really dropping it early. I'm not sure. It seems like there's a lot of support for Just Cause 4 still, and a huge active community. Maybe that's the best time to bring out a game, actually, just to do it when that's happening. And it looks good. It looks really good. It's everything that I want from a Just Cause game. You can tether crazy amounts of things. They're really focusing on that. It's bonkers. You're just having all these different like things tethered to helicopters, to cars. I'm glad that they're focusing on that because that's where people got creative with the action and the drama. Murder can be creative. Don't quote me on that. Just don't quote me on that.
Listen, children.
Wolfenstein Youngblood also just came out of nowhere and I'm pretty amped about that. It's a full co-op game and I love to play Wolfenstein together. I remember when I was doing the Let's Play on my live stream, I really wanted to play with people. It just seemed like a game that I really wanted to get my teeth into with a friend. And now that you get to play as two new characters, that's cool. They're two women, which is really rad. I think for that universe, it's gonna be very exciting to play as a woman. And to play with friends is super cool. I wanna see what story they tell. I love the first game. You guys were there when I was doing the live stream. You guys got to see that and I think this is gonna be very special.
Now, they have begun to merge as one.
Jump Force deserves a mention. I know I'm not like the biggest beat 'em up gamer in the world, but a lot of people really enjoy beat 'em ups. There's a culture in South Africa of playing a lot of fighting games. There's also a culture of Dragon Ball Z. A lot of people, and anime. Jump Force, as far as I know, is like the Shonen Jump series. If you guys know Shonen Jump, they produce a lot of anime. Some anime that you even know, Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and they've taken all of those characters and made like a Super Smash Bros of the Shonen Jump universe, which if you're an anime fan, is something to be very, I'm sure everyone's already pre-ordered it. So if you know if you want that game or not, and those games have been really good. Progressively, they've been refining them to make these really great 3D brawlers into amazing games. So Jump Force might just be the game that you play the most this year. A lot of games came out of nowhere. Like to me, that came out of nowhere. I didn't see anything about it.
The gods vanished and left our world in chaos, creating, altering, destroying.
Anthem looks sick. If you guys haven't seen any of the gameplay for Anthem, please go check it out. It seems like they've taken some of the best parts of The Division and introduced it with Destiny, which I think kind of need each other a little bit. Judging by the gameplay that they've shown, I'm excited. This looks like something that I could play for a very long time, and it looks like something that's gonna be really fun to stream. So let's see what happens later on this year and what the reviews are like, but it looks like a game that I might be really interested in. Ghost of Tsushima also was a game that came out of nowhere at the PlayStation conference, and it looks very unique in like the best ways. I have yet to see a very exciting story-driven game in like Naughty Dog-esque that doesn't happen in America.
You trained
your whole life for this.
And I think there's a lot of other stories that games can tell from other countries or other markets that American stories aren't necessarily touching on. And I'm hoping that Ghost of Tsushima is one of them. And hopefully it's like quite historically accurate.
And you have won battles that lesser men have called unwinnable, yes?
Seems to be a lot of sword fighting, a lot of kenjutsu, a lot of really traditional Japanese settings. I think the story could be very compelling and emotional, and I want to play that. I want a really good single player game. I like single player games. Please don't, please, please, please. I love Fortnite and I love single player games. Stop taking them away from me. Please invest in blockbuster single player games. Hashtag.
So I'll ask you once again, Samurai. Do you surrender?
Another surprise for me was Starlink. Toys to Life are back, and I know a lot of people really enjoy Toys to Life, and I think it's a very saturated space. Well, it really did become one. And to find a Toys to Life game that comes in at a time when there's not a lot of saturation, there's not like a ton of Skylanders and a ton of Disney Infinity toys, and something that's just has the benefit of riding the refinement of having a Skylanders and a Disney. What does a post Toys to Life industry look like having had the experience of Skylanders and Disney Infinity, and what is Starlink gonna be? I'm excited for that. Like they have the hindsight. Let's see what that's like. And I've always really liked the idea of having like physical toys that interact with my video game, something that I can switch off. I wish games like Jurassic World Evolution had something like that, because as you can see, I have any reason to like freaking collect stuff. So I'm really excited to see what that turns out to be.
Dragonborn.
Other honorary mentions and things that I'm very excited for are Skyrim 5. Cyberpunk 2077 looks really good. I really hope that it really pays off to be a really good game. It looks, from what people have said about the gameplay sessions, it looks really legit. We'll have to wait and see what that turns out to be. Ori and the Will of the Wisps looks amazing. Gears of War 5 was announced. Really amped for that. Maybe that'd also be a really cool live stream game. Halo Infinite, we got a taster. Death Stranding, look, I think there was some gameplay in Death Stranding, but I'm not 100% sure that was gameplay. Let's have a look and see what that actually turns out to be. And Unravel 2, which dropped during the stream. I have yet to buy it, but that looks pretty cool. So that wraps up my E3 2018 highlights. I know there's a whole bunch of really other exciting stuff that happened. E3 is a huge convention. If there's anything that you thought was more exciting than some of the things I did that you were wrong, or just remind me in the comments. Maybe I've forgotten something. Just let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to hear what you guys have to say, and I'm sure your opinion is very valid. Let me know if you pre-ordered something, if you guys were so excited about something that you actually pre-ordered it. And don't forget that we're still giving away Rush tickets. I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna be hosting Rush this year, next week, in Pretoria. If you guys are in the area and really into South African esports, I'm really excited to be a part of that and share that with you. I'll see you guys in another video. High five stranger. Cheers.